Dirty Dom Mysterio has made his choice. He has chosen Liv Morgan. Let's talk about it. So this past Saturday, WWE SummerSlam 2024, Cleveland Stadium, I was there live to witness Liv Morgan and Dirty Dom solidify their relationship by Dominic costing Rhea Ripley her shot at the championship, her championship win, by using heel tactics to get Liv Morgan to retain her championship. This is one of the most interesting storylines that I have seen in the WWE in a long time. The way that it has developed, the way that it has been built up, it has been telegraphed in a very obvious manner, but as we have seen the onion layers unravel, we have noticed even more to this story than meets the eye. One thing for certain, I second-guessed in the 11th hour whether or not we would see Dom Mysterio interfere and actually cost Rhea Ripley her shot at the championship. I was going over my head all these different ideas and kind of like circling through maybe involving Finn Balor, because it seemed like they were alluding to the fact that Finn Balor was going to be involved at some point as well. And so I was going over all these different ideas, and the most obvious, the most simple answer was right in front of us the entire time. And if you go back to my videos, it's one of the things that I talked about, which is Dom joining Liv Morgan. I still believe Finn Balor is in play to be involved in this situation here. Maybe they still call themselves the Judgment Day. Maybe they're a throuple. I believe JD McDonough is now going to be involved as well because of the social media. As I'm recording this, WWE Raw is playing out, and I've yet to see whether or not we see some involvement between the Judgment Day or what we've known to be the Judgment Day. Is Carlito going to be the middleman? Are we going to get Ron Killings, R-Truth involved? And there's a lot of questions surrounding this. I do believe that the Terror Twins are going to be running roughshod over the stable going forward. Looks to me that it's setting up Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley to be involved in some fashion. And if you look at the history, because this whole thing has allowed me to kind of go back and really kind of look at how the Judgment Day started, because I'll be honest with you, I really wasn't aware of how they got together. I remember that Edge was involved, but if you really go back and remember, Finn and Dominic, they were beaten into submission, and they joined the Judgment Day after being tortured by them for months. And Finn and Liv, they were friends before. There was a history between them. And so I believe because of this, this tortured idea, and because of the way that they were set up before, that they could use this to say that Finn, Dom, and Liv planned this revenge tour a long time ago, and that that there were no leaders essentially. But I would say that Finn Balor, out of everyone, you would really call him one of the leaders, because he was right alongside Edge. Damian Priest was then brought in, and Rhea Ripley was there. That you can have called a leader once, especially once Edge left. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go with this and how this plays out. I think that they could really stretch this program, this storyline, probably all the way up until WrestleMania, I believe, if they really play their cards right. I mean, the most exciting thing that we have from this is that Survivor Series is the next real big PLE that's coming up. I understand War Games is going to be a part of Survivor Series historically, or at least recently it's been a part of it. You do know that they're going to have some kind of a program with the Bloodline. What I would like to see is the traditional Survivor Series matches return. The wild card Survivor Series, where you have 4 guys that would normally not team together wrestle 4 other guys, and there's a story. There's all kinds of stories that you can play with there. You've got the Wyatt Six, you've got Chad Gable and the Creed brothers, you've got the Final Testament, you've got the New Day, you've got Ludwig Kaiser and Sheamus, you've got Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, and the bloodline. I mean, there's just so many things to play with for the Survivor Series. It would be nice if they go the traditional Survivor Series route. That would pit Liv Morgan, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and JD McDonough against Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, and then you can grab 2 other guys. Now, I've been hearing a lot of the stories of Jey Uso somehow being involved with Rhea Ripley as well, maybe a little buddy, maybe a little more than a buddy. I understand why most people, and if you are one of those people listening, if you would jump to that conclusion, but I think we might be reading too much into that. I don't see Rhea Ripley yeeting going forward. I just don't think it fits her character. My opinion, I just think that the two could work a couple mixed tag matches going forward, but overall, Jey Uso has a bigger trajectory, and that is to be involved in the Bloodline Civil War. That is where you're going to see Jey Uso going forward. So other than a few mixed tag matches, I really don't see Jey Uso being involved, at least fully, in this storyline between the Judgment Day or the Judgment Day Civil War or whatever they're trying to plan. It would be hilarious to see R-Truth being like, I got you, dog. You know, like, it would be hilarious. And now that I'm thinking about it, the Awesome Truth, Damian Priest, and Rhea Ripley actually kind of works out for a Survivor Series match against Finn Balor, JD McDonough, Dominic Mysterio, and Liv Morgan. That actually would really work. It would give Awesome Truth a little something to do as well. They have history with Finn Balor and JD McDonough. So I've convinced myself just by doing this video that that is the right way to go, and that's what they should do, considering Damian Priest has a soft spot for R-Truth. You know, even when Damian Priest was at his most sinister, he always cracked a smile when R-Truth was around, even to the detriment of like a lot of the other members at the Judgment Day in that clubhouse. So I've convinced myself just by doing this video that I think that R-Truth being involved in this actually makes sense. He is an honorary Judgment Day member, and that's going to work out that way. Also the dynamic between Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan going forward, I believe Liv Morgan playing the cat and mouse game should continue. She did excellent work at SummerSlam. When I was there live, I had a good vantage point, and I saw the shoulder sticking out, the bone sticking out of the arm of Rhea Ripley. I don't know how they did that, if she's able to pop her shoulder in and out of place. However she did it, it was incredible to see. I remember in my section, a lot of the crowd cringed. I don't know how much of it got on the big screen so everybody else could see, but it was an incredible moment. And then she pulled a Martin Riggs by ramming her shoulder to get the bone back in place. It was a very touching moment, and it did remind me fully of Riggs from Lethal Weapon. Hey, Riggs! It was a very big callback, and I'm sure I'm the only one that remembers that. But I did think that was badass, and I do look forward to Liv Morgan continuously running away from Rhea, and then Rhea saying, I'm going to put you in a Hell in a Cell. And I think that's how we get to the Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood, is by Rhea saying, I'm tired of chasing you all around. I'm going to put you in a place where you can no longer run from me. This would also ensure that Dominic doesn't get involved, but of course Dominic will get involved, and that could lead to a interesting, moment. I really didn't want to say spot, but for lack of a better term, spot that could happen in the Hell in a Cell. But I'm super excited about how this has played out thus far. I cannot wait to see how this pans out. I'm watching Raw as we speak, as I'm talking to this. Looks like they're going to have Damian Priest come out pretty soon, so I'll probably have another video in regards to that to see what kind of interesting developments that we're going to see going into the next PLE Bash at Berlin. So what do you guys think? What did you think of the reveal of Dominic being with Liv Morgan? Did you think it played out well? Before we go, there is another interesting dynamic that I want to touch upon, and that is the fact that Dominic Mysterio now is going to have a different role. He's no longer going to be playing the Pepe Le Pew and trying to vie for Rhea Ripley's affection. Now he's got someone in Liv Morgan that is vying for his affection, and that's going to give him a little bit more confidence, I'm sure, going forward, and he's going to feel a lot of power from that. You might see a more confident, exuding Dominic Mysterio going forward as well, and it could get him in a lot of trouble, because just as we know, when he came in and he was like, he was boasting about being a prisoner, and we all knew that was just shining on to be cool in front of his friends. We do know that facade didn't work out so many so well for him, and now we know that this facade in being, the man, it might not work out for him as well. So that's going to be an interesting development as well. I look forward to that because him trying to boast and be bigger than he is could run him into a whole lot of trouble, like with a guy like Braun Strowman or even with Damian Priest. So that should be interesting. But what do you guys think? What'd you think of the turn at SummerSlam? You saw it coming. We've talked about it a lot, but how do you think it paid off? How did it come across on television? Because live, the crowd ate it up. It was crazy. 57,000 people in unison did an ooh and a ah like it was a you are the father reveal from Maury Povich. It was great stuff. The energy in the crowd was great. It made for a great moment. But what do you guys think? You let me know in the comments. Thumbs up on the way out to get the notification, and thumbs up on the way out, notification bell, hit that so that you can keep up to date on all the news and information going forward with the portal of pro wrestling here. And let me know what you guys think. I'm interested to see how you think this is going to play out going forward as well, and if it went just how you thought it was going to go. Let me know in the comments, you guys. Thanks, and I'll see you real soon.